Shalom. I want to start off by saying Kal Halal Yamla, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rekah Kodesh. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us the truth and who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the Akim that is spread around the four corners of the earth, spreading this word in sincerity and in truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect. I'm the brother Quatas Upsayan from the James Holland branch, coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai with another lesson, with another video. And Lord willing, this video is edifying. In this video, I want to go into Luke chapter 10, verse 18. Let me start at 17. And the 70 returned again with joy, saying, Lord, even the devils are subject unto us through thy name. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan, this red letter, so this Yahushai speaking, which Yahushai is the name of the person who everybody ignorantly calls Jesus. His name is Yahushai. Yah is he, Yahushai means to deliver or to save. So he said, and he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. So, if you go into that word Satan, which is Satanas, and the outline of biblical usage says adversary, one who opposes another in purpose or act. But the one that I'm looking for is a Satan-like man. So what Yahushai was explaining here is that he saw Satan falling from heaven, which the heaven that he's referring to is rulership. He said a Satan-like man is falling from heaven like lightning. That's what he saw. And that goes into this rulership, the rulership of Esau, the so-called white man, because he is the physical embodiment of Satan here on earth. So you have that spiritual demon Satan, but you also have his physical counterpart on the earth, which is the so-called white man. Let me see. 2 Thessalonians 3. This 2 Thessalonians 2. And it reads, And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh, which Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, which Yah is he, Hawa comes from Haya, which is to be or to exist. And it says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So the spirit of his mouth is by these words that we speak, the truth. We are uncovering Esau's secret parts, the so-called white man's secret parts, you see. We are making bare, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, of course, that this man is really up to, what he's doing in the dark, what his master plan, master scheme is, that NWO, that new world order, that it's working towards. So he is that wicked. The Most High is making him bear through the mouth of the prophets, which are the men that are standing in the highways and byways doing this work. The ones that are studying to show themselves approved, the ones that fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Verse 9, even him whose coming is after the working of Satan with all powers and signs and lying wonders. You see? So his ways is after the coming, Salakia, his ways is after the working of Satan. Let me see what the NLT says. 2 Thessalonians 2. Yeah, it says 2 Thessalonians 2 verse 9. This man will come to do the work of Satan with counterfeit power and signs and miracles. So that's what he's doing, man. With his technology and with his science, which is all going back to witchcraft. He's getting his lying wonders and his signs from the left hand side. You see how he can, for example, back in the ancient times, you wouldn't have a television, for example, but now through the left hand side, he got the knowledge to create something like that. And now what does he do with it? He mass manipulates people, their mind. He changes people, their way of thinking. He's programming the people. You see, that's one of the wonders, that he came with. Or something else is like, he always comes with, in his videos or in his movies, he comes with, how you call it, subliminal messages, which pre-programs people. You see, he always let himself come out as a victor in movies, in documentaries. He's always the one that is the good guy. You see, lying. That's what he is. That's what he's about. Putting everything to his hand. But the Most High, he is making everything bare that this man does. Let me go to Nahum. Nahum 3. Verse 5. God, this is Nahum 3, verse 5. Behold, I am against thee, said Yahweh, power of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. So that's what's happening right now. The Most High is making this man bare. All these other nations are looking at Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, like, ew, this man is really a piece of shit, They started to make deals with him. They started to make a covenant with him, You have Ishmael, you have Moab, you have all these other nations. They were, like it says in Habakkuk, the ones wherewith he was making bread, they're going to, let me not butcher the scripture, let me just go to it. Habakkuk 2, yeah, it shall take a parable against him. This is Habakkuk 2, verse 5. Yea, also, because he transgressed by wine, by his philosophies, he is a proud man, his pride is lifted up, he's puffed up, neither keep it at home. He doesn't stay in his borders. No, he goes all across the earth, rape, robbing, and murdering, and increasing that which is not his. How? By blood, by war. Who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied. You see, so the grave cannot be satisfied. The earth cannot be satisfied with enough bodies. People are born, and when they die, they go into the grave, and the grave is never satisfied, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth up unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So this is what the white man does. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. You see, so all these nations, they're going to lift up a parable against them, a proverb against them, going to be like, hey, this man, he's going rape, robbing, and murdering, and increasing everything that is not his. Now he's busy in the Middle East trying to, overthrow the Ishmaelites over there and conquer that. That's the last place on earth that he hasn't fully conquered, that he hasn't fully invaded and settled his army bases in. You see? And him that laded himself with thick clay, which the thick clay is Ibadyat, which is debt. He conquers these countries and puts them in debt. He puts a banking system down wherewith these nations are being put in debt, so they are being made a perpetual slave to Esau. You see? But all these things are happening real quick. That's why Yahushua said Esau, Satan, which is that Satan-like man, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, falling as lightning from heaven. So he's gonna be taken away out of rulership real quick. You see, this is not gonna take too much longer. You see, the Most High is busy lifting up his skirts and showing these nations his nakedness. So they're going to take up a proverb against him, and they're all going to point their intercontinental ballistic missiles pointing towards America. You see? Verse 6, and I will cast abominable filth upon thee, and make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. And it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee, and say, Nineveh, which Nineveh, Esau's kingdom is modern day Nineveh. He's the modern day ruler. Nineveh is laid waste. Who will bemoan her? Whence shall I seek comforts for thee? See? So Nineveh, modern day Nineveh, which is America, Babylon the Great, is going to be laid waste. All these nations are going to consume her. You see? So all these nations that were confederate with her, they're going to consume her, man. And then the Most High is also going to jump in. He's going to send his son and going to completely take Esau out of rulership. You see? So let me go to Isaiah 14, verse 4. That thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, which is Edom, and say, how had the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. The golden city is America. Everybody wanted to go over there and live the great American dream. You see, all these, for example, Elamite people, which are Indians, the Ishmaelites, they also went over there. These are merchants. They go to that city, to that country to make money. Moab also went there to make money. You have even our people, like Haitians. I have a kind of family that lives over there, Haitian family, which is in the scriptures, Haitians or the Levites. They went there, and then they started to become cab drivers and things like that. Jamaican people, which are also our people, the Israelites, they went there, started to become cab drivers, trying to make that American dream come true. You see? But the Most High says that golden city is going to cease. Yahweh had broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. Which is staff and the scepter. What is that? That signifies rulership. That shows you that that man is in charge. The one that's sitting on the throne with the crown on his head and the staff and scepter in his hand. But the Most High is going to take away that scepter. He's going to break it. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. You see? Going back to that, he's a proud man, that he's increasing that which is not his. He's taking over places through rape, rob, and murder, through violence, through blood. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted, and none hindered. Nobody's going to be able to stop him. You see? So Esau is going to be taken out of rulership. He's going to be taken out of his heaven. And what is going to happen? Revelation 21, verse 1 says, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth, which the first heaven is the rulership of Esau. That was the heaven before the new one that is coming down from above, and the first earth, which is the way the earth is being ruled now without the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. It's being depleted from its nutrients. It's being basically, Esau is living as a parasite on this earth, as a cancer cell on this earth, consuming and destroying everything that he comes across. But there's going to be a new earth and a new heaven, which the new earth is going to be replenished by the scriptures of the Most High, by the laws of the Most High, the right way to live in symbiosis with this earth, not as a parasite or as a cancer cell, but in symbiosis, meaning, the two are living harmonious together. And the first heaven, the second heaven is going to be New Jerusalem, that is going to be a rulership. You see? So let me read on. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And the sea represents these other nations having a say-so in this kingdom. You see? Because it's the harlot sitting on the scarlet-colored beast upon the sea, which the sea represents these nations. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem. You see, New Jerusalem is speaking about the nation of Israel, coming down from the Most High out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. So New Jerusalem is going to be the new rulership. The Israelites are going to be ruling. You see? We are going to come down after the destruction of the intercontinental ballistic missiles, because we're going to have to be beamed up out of here so that the Most High can get down, so that Yahushua can get down, the chariots can get down. You see, we have to be taken out of the way. And then when everything is destroyed and consumed, we are going to scrap up the bits and pieces, being prepared, adorned for her husband. And who is the husband? Yahushua. So we are going to meet Yahushua, and then the rulership of New Jerusalem, which is the nation of Israel, is going to start, starting with the 144,000, the elect. You see? So that's why Luke 10, verse 18, it says, Satan fell from heaven as lightning, because just like how lightning strikes, it's very short, and Esau's rulership is very short. If you look at the number of years, how long this earth has been created, the earth is like 12,000 years old, and Esau, he has been in rulership roughly 2,000 years, and the earth was made in 7 days, in 7,000 years. So that leaves like 5,000 years. There was 5,000 years of rulership, and Esau has been ruling 2,000. And after Esau's rulership, the 2,000 years that, roughly 2,000 years that he's in rulership, the nation of Israel is going to rule forever and ever. You see? So compared to that, Esau's rulership is as a lightning strike, real short. So with that, I hope this video is edifying, and I want to say Kal Halal Yamla Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Merkah Kodash Shalom Akim.